I'm Waris Mohammed and you're watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television. These are the stories making local headlines. Somaliland National Evaluation Center holds annual awards ceremony. Minister of Justice attends ribbon cutting ceremony for a newly constructed building for Somaliland's custodial corps. Tunisian Prime Minister resigns. Somaliland's National Evaluation Center held the annual awards ceremony honoring citizens throughout the nation for their role in advancing Somaliland. President of Somaliland Ahmed Silanyo was one of the recipients and provided attendees with a keynote speech.
Somaliland's National Evaluation Center, an organization focused on awarding citizens throughout Somaliland, revered for advancing various sectors, held their annual event. The awards ceremony had a number of distinguished guests in attendance, including President of Somaliland Ahmed Silanyo, cabinet ministers, parliamentarians, influential leaders within Somaliland society, and many other notable figures. President of Somaliland Ahmed Silanyo received an award for his instrumental role in progressing the nation through multiple developmental initiatives. The President, speaking to an audience of esteemed guests, expressed thankfulness for the honor. He also commended the other awardees for their monumental roles in bettering the nation. Cabinet ministers such as Minister of Planning and National Development Saad Ali Shire and Minister of Presidency Hirsi Haji Ali Hassan also received awards for their accomplishments. A number of other individuals were also honored at the ceremonial event, such as poets, singers, health advocates, security officials, and people recognized for their commitment to advancing Somaliland.
Somaliland's Minister of Justice Hussein Ahmed Aidid, alongside Commander of Custodial Corps Mohammed Hussein Hirane, participated in the ribbon cutting ceremony for a newly constructed building for Hargeisa's Central Prison. Minister of Justice Hussein Ahmed Aidid, alongside Commander of Somaliland's Custodial Corps Mohammed Hussein Hirane, attended the opening ceremony of a building constructed at Hargeisa's Central Prison. Minister of Justice Hussein Ahmed Aidid elaborated on the need for better facilities for those serving to protect the nation and the urgency of providing such resources. The minister continued to point out the overwhelming accomplishments made in Somaliland's judicial system through a series of reforms. Commander of Somaliland Custodial Corps Mohammed Hussein Hirane also spoke at the opening event. The commander touched on the various developments made to strengthen Somaliland's judicial system. He highlighted the bottom-up approach taken to ensure that the judicial system is working at its best. Daniel Barrera, a representative of the UNODC, also spoke at the event, and he stated,
UNODC is very much engaged and committed in improving the quality of life of the prison system, both being prison staff and prisoners in this country. UNODC is committed in improving the quality of life of all these people. We are trying the best we can, the best we know, subject of course to the availability of funding, to construct, to build facilities, excellent facilities like this one. We will give indeed a big quality of life to the prison staff in this case. But this is just a small drop, Minister. There is still a lot to do. I had opportunity to visit this week Mandera, and I had reports concerning other prisons here in Somaliland that needs thorough assessment and support from the international community. And in this regard, we, UNODC, we are going to start a very interesting pilot project in Mandera for the rehabilitation of the prison, and at the same time improving also, like I said, the quality of life and the health of all the prison staff and the prisoners. You will see inside, when we go to inside the prison, that prisoners are working, prisoners are learning, prisoners are playing, and this is extremely important to give them what they need to one day, when they leave the prison, they will be not just ex-convicted, but also people rehabilitated and prepared to enter in the society again. And believe me, Minister General, that this is our objective since we are here already for almost 2 years. And the proof is that we have an excellent staff here. We have our prison mentor, Mr. John Wilcox, who is here already since almost a year, providing his expertise to the prison services and trying to improve as much as he can the quality of life of the prison system.
The event concluded with the newly constructed building being transferred to the custodial corps of Hargeisa Central Prison. Sonia, a youth umbrella organization, hosted the annual Youth Day at an event which hosted a number of senior government officials, including Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Ali Saeed Raigal.
The event was held to honor those who passed away on February 20th, 1982, during a youth revolt also known as UFO, which triggered a nationwide consensus against the mistreatment of youth. Senior government officials were in attendance, including Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Ali Saeed Raigal, Chairman of the Anti-Corruption Commission, Ahmed Mohamed Madar, and other high-ranking political figures. Kaltoon Haji Dahir, a former First Lady of Somaliland, addressed participants on the significance of remembering February 20th, 1982, and the overall importance those actions played in shaping Somaliland's future. Minister of Youth, Sports and Tourism, Ali Saeed Raigal, pledged on behalf of Somaliland's government to amplify efforts and work even harder at promoting more opportunities for the nation's youth. However, the minister was keen to mention the need for more active participation from the youth as well. The annual event is recognized as a day to remember those who place national interests above personal interests.
You're tuned into the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for our international headlines in detail. Tunisian Prime Minister Hamadi Jebeli has announced his resignation at a news conference in Tunis. An aide had hinted that Jebeli might resign earlier on Tuesday after the ruling Ennahda party rebuffed his plan to form a non-partisan cabinet to steer Tunisia throughout a crisis caused by the killing of left-wing politician Shukri Belaid.
Jebeli, who had warned of chaos if his plan fell through, made a last-minute ditch to push for another solution and was due to meet President Monsef Marzouki later in the afternoon. Jebeli met the cabinet in the morning to say goodbye and to ask them to continue to expedite current matters, one government member said. Ennahda's leader, Rashid Ghannouchi, had put forward his own proposal on Monday for a mixed government of politicians and technocrats, and has said that there was a consensus among political parties for Jebeli to remain prime minister. Jebeli did not rule out accepting if he was charged by the president once more to form a new government, but he said any new cabinet he would lead must be free from partisan haggling, inclusive, and charged primarily with holding new elections.
British Prime Minister David Cameron has met with his Indian counterpart Manmohan Singh as part of a 3-day visit aimed at doubling trade between the two nations to $36 billion. Tuesday's meeting took place amid a corruption row over a $750 million defense deal in India involving a British-Italian helicopter maker. India is considering cancelling the deal after the Italian police arrested Giuseppe Orsi for allegedly paying bribes to Indian politicians to win the contract. Addressing the helicopter deal, Cameron said, "Let me make absolutely clear that in Britain we have introduced anti-bribery legislation that is probably the strongest anywhere in the world." Singh said his government has very serious concerns regarding allegations about unethical means used to secure the 2010 deal. "I have sought full assistance from the UK in this case," said Singh. Prime Minister David Cameron has assured me of the cooperation of his government in the investigations. U.S. General John Allen has decided to retire rather than proceed with his nomination as the NATO Supreme Allied Commander. Barack Obama, the U.S. President, has said. Obama praised the general's performance in Afghanistan, where he oversaw the start of the withdrawal from America's longest war.
General Allen, the former commander of NATO-led forces in Afghanistan, was investigated for alleged inappropriate communication with a Florida socialite at the center of a scandal involving former CIA Director David Petraeus, who was forced to resign in November last year. He was cleared of misconduct by Pentagon investigators over emails he sent to the woman who knew Allen when he served as the number 2 officer at the U.S. military's Tampa-based Central Command from July 2008 to June 2011. Allen, in an interview with the Washington Post newspaper, said he wanted to focus on helping his wife cope with chronic health issues that included an autoimmune disorder. The paper said Allen, who has 2 daughters, no longer wanted to place the pressure for that decision on his wife. The 4-star general who took over command in Afghanistan in July 2011 was succeeded by General Joseph Dunford earlier this month.
Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez has returned home to Venezuela after more than 2 months of medical treatment in Cuba after cancer surgery. Chavez, 58, announced his return in a series of messages on Monday on his Twitter account, and aides confirmed the news. They were the first messages to appear on the president's account since November 1. "We have arrived back in the Venezuelan fatherland. Thanks, my God. Thanks, my beloved people. Here we will continue the treatment," Chavez said via Twitter. There had been speculation that Chavez was not well enough to travel, despite wanting to return to his homeland for continued treatment for the disease he was first diagnosed with in mid-2011. That's all the news for now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.